Hello, so today I want to talk about recovery, and obviously specifically more of your mental recovery. I think a lot of people obviously focus on their physical recovery, and that's definitely, much better understood these days, but also just as important to look at your mental recovery. And recovery is so important, and there are different layers to recovery, different things that are going to help influence your ability to recover. And you have to understand you have to spend time and really put effort into your recovery in order to then be able to put the effort and energy into performing, into practicing, into developing your skill sets. And I think sometimes this gets missed. Recovery isn't done to the degree that it needs to be or is best to do to really be able to come back at it with everything that you have. If you just keep going without proper recovery, you're not really getting the most out of yourself, and you're robbing yourself of the potential to really reach and stretch and figure out what your true potential is for yourself. So let's look at a few things that when we look at mental recovery, what that entails. Sleep, obviously, yes, it is a thing that also helps you physically recover, but it also helps you to mentally recover, and making sure that you get proper sleep is very important. And I think obviously there's a lot of devices out there now. There's a lot of things that can help you monitor and see what kind of sleep you're having. But I think a lot of the time you come back to some of the basic things is just know how many hours of sleep that you need and trying to get that many hours of sleep that you need. And I think all too often these days for a lot of especially student athletes, sleep is kind of the last thing that gets looked at. And I understand to a degree why, because they're so busy. But if you really want to be able to be at your best, you have to be able to get the proper sleep. You have to let your body be able to recover during the night, and that needs to be a primary importance to you. You need to really look at it to the same degree as you would look at, developing your physical skill sets. And then another thing that is important when we look at mental recovery is thinking well, self-talk, right? How are you talking to yourself, not just within competitions, but away from it? And not just how are you talking to yourself, but are you really present in the moment? And that obviously does influence your self-talk. If your self-talk is still on your past performance and you're beating yourself up for something that happened 6 hours ago, a day ago, you're not recovering. You're not letting your brain have the ability to recover, and that needs to happen in order for you to now be able to move in to your next competition and be fully ready and to go and fully present. You have to be able to, as I said, think well, be present, have good self-talk even in between your competitions, in between your practices, during your practices, and really help to bring yourself back to being present. Another thing that's really super important when it comes to mental recovery is to move well. So as an athlete, you obviously work out a lot, you do your sport, but sometimes it's just good to be able to get out there, go for a walk or do something more gentle, maybe yoga, something that just helps to kind of really get you, mentally a little bit detached from your day-to-day and kind of get out there and just get the body moving a little bit, and not just kind of be always so intense all the time, and really let yourself kind of disconnect a little bit from what you were doing. And then another thing that is really great for mental recovery is laughter. That's such an important thing, is to be able to laugh, to find humor, to enjoy yourself. This is also within your competition, within your practices, but especially also outside of it. It's a huge component to your ability to recover mentally, to kind of refresh yourself, and so that's definitely very important. So those are some things that you can really look at when it comes to mental recovery. As I said, one of the biggest things though, I think, is definitely being able to detach, let go, not think about past performances or worry about future performances, but really be in the present moment and not kind of stress yourself out or create mental strain by thinking too much about the past or the future.